So the Steam Deck might have finally just put the final nail in the coffin for the PlayStation Portal. For a very long time, the Portal was one of the only ways that you can access PlayStation's cloud streaming to play pretty much any game that you've purchased in your library on the cloud without having a PS5. I never thought Sony would release the cloud streaming API, but they did. And this is a SOBI. This is a playtest, so it's still in beta. It can remote play and it can cloud stream. And this isn't only on the Steam Deck. This can be used on your phone, your tablet, your TV, your computer, anything. So now you can access PlayStation cloud streaming on pretty much any device. But is it better than playing on the Portal? Let's find out today. So we're gonna go in here, and as you can see, I've only been playtesting this for about maybe an hour or two, if I've even played that, and it already logged me out. It already says my PSN session has expired and pretty much logged me out. And to be honest, signing in isn't the most straightforward process. So as you can see right here, they're gonna have me scan this QR code. So we're gonna go here, scan that QR code. There we go. Looks like the codes match. So now I need to sign into PlayStation. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. All right, so after you sign in, it's gonna redirect you to this blank page, and it's gonna have this really small text up here that says redirect. So you're probably gonna be confused. So what you need to do is go back into the tab and pretty much hit I saw the redirect page, and it's gonna give you this really weird code that you copy, and then you paste that into here, link account, and you're gonna see this message on the bottom, says account linked, return to your device. It will connect automatically. So as you can see, it connected automatically. We're gonna go into the PS Cloud because this is the remote play setting. And as you can see, the touch controls don't really work. So you have to use your D-pad and your face buttons. 1,391 games available on the PlayStation Plus Premium catalog. Some of these look like duplicates, so I'm not sure how accurate that number is. And then also in the owned tab, I own probably triple to 4 times the amount of games on my PlayStation, and it's only showing 150. So I'm not sure what that's about. Maybe not every single game is streamable. I know it's only PS5 games, so that's probably it. I probably only own about 150 PS5 games on my PlayStation, and then everything else is like PS3, PS4. So you can see every game that's available to stream here. And let's go ahead and stream. Would be a good game to stream. I guess the good old reliable Cyberpunk is what we're gonna do, because everybody seems to like Cyberpunk. Gonna give us some status updates. So as you can see, that sign up process wasn't the most straightforward as compared to on the Portal. All you really got to do is scan a QR code and then sign in, and you're good. And then it kind of keeps you in there forever until you sign out. I've never been logged out of my Portal. Like I said, I've only been testing this for about a week and probably put only an hour or two into this, if even, and it already had my session expire. So I'm not sure what that's about. I'm not sure if it's a beta thing or if it's an API thing that you're just gonna have to deal with the entire time you're using this service. But definitely something that I felt worth mentioning, especially since the linking process is so convoluted compared to something like the official PlayStation Portal. And that also has me thinking, like, if they're gonna release this like API so third-party developers can make their own streaming platforms, maybe hopefully Sony will release an official PlayStation Cloud app sometime in the future, because I just think user experience wise that will just be so much better compared to this. I also really don't like the UI on here. I'm going to show you the PlayStation Portal's cloud streaming UI in a little bit, just to show you how much cleaner it is. I know that doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, you're not playing the UI, you're playing the game. But as you can see, I'm streaming this straight from the PlayStation cloud servers, and it's not the smoothest. I've been really spoiled with GeForce now, because that thing it pretty much feels native on the Steam Deck. This, you could definitely tell there's some latency. Like, let's do a little test. I'm gonna play frame by frame. I'm gonna just sling this joystick all the way to the left and see how long it takes before I start moving. So okay, those are 3 tests, and then we're going to compare that with the Portal as well. But yeah, this is pretty much it. So not much more to explain here at this point. you see the latency, you're playing the game, there's not much more to explain. It's running through the cloud, so performance is gonna be pretty much standard to what you'd expect on the PlayStation. Battery life is gonna be a lot better than running this native, of course. No fan noise, no heat. Crank the brightness as much as you want. The audio doesn't seem to have any latency. I'm not a fan of this quality though. Just playing on the MacBook with my previous videos, it's crazy that a MacBook Pro looks better than the PS5 version of Cyberpunk. It's genuinely mind-blowing to me nowadays, because I bet you didn't know that MacBooks could game, but check my last video, or one of my last videos, and you can see that it looks way better than this does right now. Anyways, that's it for the Steam Deck. Let's get into the Portal, and boom, this is the Portal. Already looks way cleaner than what we had with the Steam Deck. You can see the touch screen works with the interface. Get this cool little interface, you get some background music, and you get some quick toggles, and then we're gonna go right into the cloud streaming. So they separate your owned games here, as well as every game on PlayStation Plus that's available. There is no number amount, so I can't compare to see if the Steam one is accurate or not, or the Sobe one I should say. But yeah, look at this scrolling interface, much nicer. If I'm interested in this one, I could be like, okay, what's this? Tab through some screenshots, get a little description, how many players, offline play, all that, but that doesn't really matter if you're streaming it anyways. Yeah, let's load up some Cyberpunk as well, just to keep this scientific. Cyberpunk 2077, stream that, and then you get to choose either the PS4 or PS5 version, but I don't see why anybody would stream the PS4 version. But you can if you want to, I guess. We're gonna get this loading screen. That's the interface, so much more cleaner, so much more streamlined and pleasant to look at. I feel like the other one has some like contrast issues and hierarchy issues. Like, I don't know, I have like a design background, so I kind of am more noticing of those type of elements where it's just like, yo, this interface looks so bad. It's functional for sure, but it looks so bad. They can definitely improve upon that, and that's my feedback to them as a beta tester. Just improve on that layout, make it touchscreen friendly and all that, because that is definitely a lot more easier to use an app like that when you can select a game instead of tabbing all across the screen and stuff. And overall, I feel like this connection experience has been way faster. For some reason, it looks smoother on here as well. I hope that translates over to you. And I feel like the latency is pretty much cut in half. So we're gonna do the same test. We're gonna fling this all the way to the left and see how many frames it takes for me to actually start moving. So one, two, three. All right, so we'll see what that ends up being, but off the bat, just using this feels a lot more responsive. The screen is bigger, sharper. Yo, there's kids in this game. It just feels better, and for some reason the colors also look better, but the graphics are obviously still pretty comparable to what we had with the Steam Deck streaming. What is hitting me? What? But yeah, there we go. And then same thing, you get good battery life on this. There's actually no fans. You could mute, unmute yourself. And then as for the settings, you could either do 1080p high quality, 720p, or standard. But let's just look at the other settings. We got brightness, we got troubleshooting, settings. So you could, in the troubleshootings, see, you know, what's going on with your network and pretty much see if you're getting strong enough speeds. And as you can see, my speeds are pretty bad. They're pretty bad, and the game is looking and streaming like this. I moved recently, so my internet hasn't been what it once was, but as you can see, I'm still able to stream games and play them pretty comfortably. Like, obviously the latency is existent, but after a while I can definitely get used to this. Like I said, I have been spoiled with GeForce using the same internet, and I think it's even twice as smooth as this, which is an improvement on the Steam Deck that we just tested. So like I said, using GeForce now, it feels damn near native and the graphics are a lot better. But yeah, this is the Portal version. Let me know how you guys feel. Do you think that the PlayStation Portal is still worth getting when there are apps that are being made now for multiple platforms that allow you to access the PlayStation Cloud, but it might not be as smooth as the experience with the Portal? And of course, if you're using it on a phone, you got to get a controller adapter or connect your controller with Bluetooth, and that introduces its own set of latency, and it might not be as comfortable as this DualSense grip, which is hands down the best feeling handheld I've used. I've used many handhelds, and the PlayStation Portal, it just wins. It's just the most comfortable. Got full size triggers, all that. Will this be pretty much overshadowed by the floodgates of competition that are pretty much going to open because of Sony allowing this API for cloud streaming to be accessed by other developers? Let me know what you guys think. Are you still going to get the PlayStation Portal, or are you going to replace it with the Steam Deck, or even like this brings up so many potential things. Like one of my other videos, I was saying, if you don't have a PlayStation 5, what you can do is use a PlayStation Portal to access GTA 6, because I can almost guarantee that it's going to be available on PlayStation Cloud, which will pretty much allow anybody to be able to play GTA 6 regardless of if they have a PlayStation 5 or Xbox or not. All you would have to do is just buy a PlayStation Portal and the PlayStation Premium Cloud Streaming subscription tier. Now it seems like all you have to do is download Asobi, which is free, and then buy the PlayStation Cloud subscription tier, which is substantially cheaper than a PlayStation Portal. And then you'll have access to all of Sony's games: Wolverine, GTA 6, Last of Us, God of War. All those things will be available on here, plus all the hundreds of other games that you've seen on the premium. So I think it's a little strategic that they let this happen, because they can make a lot of money on the PlayStation streaming plus the GTA 6 sales. We're gonna go full in depth and see if there's any major differences that I find between Asobi and PlayStation Portal. I'm gonna be testing that. I'm also gonna do a deep dive on GeForce Now and also compare that with PlayStation Cloud. So make sure you like and subscribe for that if that's something that interests you. But that's gonna be it from me. I'll see y'all in the next video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Peace.